Hey everybody, how's it hanging? What I have going on right now is the first of two special music episodes, which I'm going to call Music Spotlights. And in these two episodes, separately, I'm going to discuss a couple of topics that I originally planned to be talked about on the previous music show I used to co-host. You recall, towards the end of some of these shows, I presented these ideas. Unfortunately, they never got talked about, let alone even considered. And as you all know, the co-hosts of those old music shows decided to jump ship onto a different platform. I figured it was finally time to talk about these two topics here on my own. And here we are. Now, before I begin, let me forewarn everyone watching this that at some time during this episode, I may fumble with some words while talking about what I'm talking about here. This is something I've dealt with throughout my whole childhood. I know there are a few times I try to work on it, but it just happens automatically out of the blue for some reason. Nevertheless, if I do fumble with some words here, I apologize ahead of time. So without further ado, let's begin. Now, we all know what infidelity is. It's when a male or female in a serious relationship, whether it's boyfriend or girlfriend, engaged or married, decides to step out of that circle and get involved with someone else for whichever reason. Whether that individual is feeling lonely, feeling neglected, feeling ignored, seeking attention, validation, or the need to be seen, heard, desired, cherished. Whichever the reason it is, we all know the consequences of being in a cheating scandal. I mean, we've seen it play out many times before, in particularly televangelist Jim Bakker. We all know the huge trouble he got in when he got involved with that girl Jessica Hahn back in 1986 or 87. When that was revealed, everything blew up. I know that Australian actor Paul Logan, he got involved with one of his co-stars from the Crocodile Dundee movies. That was all over the news back in Australia and here in the States. I know his wife, who he left for his co-star, was very shattered in an interview that she did for Australian television. And of course, we cannot forget our current president, Donald Trump, when it was revealed that he was two-timing his first wife, Ivana, rest in peace to her, with a woman named Marla Maples. You can imagine the amount of hurt that Ivana was feeling when this was all revealed out to the public. Now, let me offer this recommendation to those out there in relationships who have been thinking about stepping out for any of the reasons that I previously mentioned. Don't do it. Cheating hurts everyone in the long run. It hurts your main partner. It hurts your companion. It hurts you. And if you have kids, it'll especially hurt them. Nothing good comes out of it. The best thing to do is, if you're having issues, is to sit down privately with your main spouse or partner and tell what's on your mind. Work on those issues as much as you can. It may not be solved overnight, but at least it's 20 times better than stepping out. I guess what it is people think, oh, I try to express what I'm feeling to my wife or husband, but they don't really get it. They don't really pay attention. So I gotta seek what I gotta seek from this person or that person. Plus, it's a lot more simpler, a lot more easier. No, it's not good either way. As I mentioned, everyone gets hurt in the end. If there are issues in your relationship, work on them. Patch things up. Try to make it better as much as you can. It cannot be solved overnight. You may want to take your time, but work on those problems first. Don't cheat. Okay, I have my work phone up on my right hand now, and I have some songs here about infidelity, courtesy of Google AI Overview. And these are listed in different categories. I'm going to get to the first one here, confessional and guilt-ridden, starting with Unfaithful by Rihanna. This came out in the early 2000s, and it's a ballad about the guilt she is feeling from hurting her partner with her unfaithfulness. At times, the person who is doing the cheating will feel huge amounts of guilt. They're going to feel sad inside for what they have done. But yet, in some cases, they go back to cheating because they love the excitement, the thrill of sneaking around. Plus, they at times get addicted to it. They get addicted to the rush, the excitement that comes along with going behind their spouse's back. Here's one that I've heard a couple times before. Confessions Part 2 by Usher. In this tune, Usher is facing consequences from a cheating scandal, in particularly getting another girl pregnant. I've seen the video, and one of the main scenes of that clip is Usher getting almost beat up by the co-star who's supposed to be the main lover in his life after she found out that she got this other girl pregnant. Now, this has been played out a couple times. Once in a Lifetime movie called Tempting Fate, where a housewife gets involved with some other dude while her husband's away with their kids. She ends up getting pregnant. She didn't want to get it aborted, so she decides to keep the baby. In the end, everybody works it out in the long run. Another situation was played out on the reality series Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Rashida Frost finds out that her husband, Kirk Frost, got another girl pregnant. In one episode, she is seen crying and telling Kirk, "You broke me. This is a lesson for you. You have kids. We have kids that look up to you like a fucking superhero." You know? And you can tell on the look at Kirk's face that he is indeed remorseful for what he'd done. Of course, the obvious excuse is, "I was drunk. I was not aware." No, it doesn't matter how drunk you get. You knew what you were doing, Kirk. Okay? Next on our list, Criminal by Fiona Apple. This came out in the later half of the 1990s, and it's a confession of guilt regarding a deceitful, complex relationship. Like I said, when you do some cheating behind your main spouse's back, the guilt's going to come afterwards. and at times it will eat you up alive. To the point where you just have to confess everything, lay everything out on the table. Here's one from Trey Songz, Last Time. This one explores the guilt and complications of living a double life, which is what cheaters usually do at times. Here they are with their wife, their 2 or 3 kids, perfect family man. However, on the other side, this dude is out with this other female, that other female, this other female, somehow feeling that he could be a player, or missing the single life, such and such. And as we all know, at some point, those 2 worlds are going to collide together, causing huge amounts of catastrophe. All right, here's the next category: heartbreak and being cheated on. Starting with Sam Smith, I'm Not the Only One. This one focuses on the pain of discovering their partner's infidelity. A lot of times when someone cheats, it's mainly because the main spouse, or let me come up with a better term, original partner, or OP for short. At times when the person cheats on their OP, it's because, they feel they want more. There are many women and men out there who feel this way. They're in a good relationship, it's rock solid, but that individual just wants more. And they get that more from someone else. Here's one from 2003, Cry Me a River by Justin Timberlake. And we all know the story behind this one. As you may remember, Timberlake was romantically involved with Britney Spears for a good couple of years. That was until he found out that Britney was 2-timing him with the choreographer of her dance music videos, Wade Robson. Now, Wade Robson is no stranger to the music scene. In 1991, he was featured in the music video for Jam by Michael Jackson. This is a lifelong idol. Years later, he would go on to do some choreographing for the music videos for Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. He also did some choreographing for their concert tours as well. And I remember seeing a couple of videos, let me take that back, a couple of photos, I meant to say, of both Britney and Robson together standing side by side. And in one photo I saw, they're kissing each other on the lips. Now, let's also keep in mind that Robson briefly had a competition show on MTV simply called The Wade Robson Project. It was a brief run on that network. And now we best remember him as one of the key figures in the Michael Jackson molestation case in the early 2000s. He was also featured in that documentary, Leaving Neverland, which aired on the HBO network, detailing the alleged abuse claims towards Michael Jackson. Here's one from Beyonce, Resentment. This is a ballad about the long-term distrust one feels from being cheated on. Now, we've seen this played out a couple times. Someone gets cheated on. In the previous relationship, they were cheated on as well. After a couple of times of that going on, that individual decides, fuck it. I got too much resentment in me from being screwed over that I'm kind of reluctant to get involved with any romantic relationships right now. Believe me, this is one of the complications of being cheated on. A lot of resentment and a lot of anger. Next on our list, here's an oldie, Jolene by Dolly Parton, which is a plea to a particular woman who is tempting to steal another woman's man away. Jolene, Jolene, I beg of you, please don't take my man. Now, this song got covered a couple times afterwards. The first was from Olivia Newton-John, somewhere in the later half of the 1970s. And a couple years later by the goth rock group The Sisters of Mercy. And I'm sure it's here on YouTube, but at her rock and roll induction ceremony, she is singing the song, and she's joined on stage by Judas Priest frontman Rob Halford. Very interesting indeed. Next category, anger and revenge. Now, we all seen this many times before, mostly with women. Women who find out that their spouse or boyfriend is cheated on them, they're going to get all upset. They're going to take a big baseball bat and start smashing the windows of their boyfriend or husband's automobile, or start ruining their clothing, pouring bleach all over them. They're going to take that anger out some way they can. At times they're going to go pounce on them, beat the crap out of them. Men have gotten revenge as well. I've seen a couple of videos of housewives turning on the bathroom light only to see a printed copy of their Tinder account. A couple of times a husband or boyfriend kicks out the girlfriend while the woman is crying, please, please don't, we can work on this. You will get angry when you get cheated on, without any question. Now, the list of songs in this category range from number 1, Before He Cheats from Carrie Underwood, which is a high-energy country hit about taking vengeance on a cheating partner, doing stuff like I just described moments ago. Assaulting that individual, assaulting the affair partner, or AP, I'm going to call afterwards. Taking revenge on their properties, their clothing, their possessions. You cheat on me, well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take your stack of records, I'm going to throw them onto the ground and run over them with my car. Here's another one from a lady named Jasmine Sullivan. I remember hearing this on the R&B stations a couple times in the early 2000s. Bust Your Windows, which is a dramatic song about reacting to one's betrayal. And I think you know what I'm talking about what this song is describing. Here's one from Blue Cantrell, Hit 'em Up Style, parentheses, oops. This one focuses on taking a partner's money after they find out that that partner cheated on them. Oh, you're going to cheat on me? I'm going to get hold of your credit cards, your debit cards. I'm going to spend it all on me. I'm going to leave your bitch ass broke. You cheat on me, this is what you're going to get. Oh. Next one on this list, something I've heard many times in the past. In fact, I remember first hearing this song back in 1979. If I remember, it came out on the album titled Infinity. No, it wasn't Infidelity. Evolution. Yeah, that's the name of the album. My bad for that. The song is called Lovin' Touchin' Squeezin' by Journey. This one explores the pain of being cheated on and the eventual poetic justice. Remember, there's a thing called karma that indeed comes and collects. It won't be long before the partner you cheated on me with starts cheating on you, bitch. And we've seen that play out a couple times in the past. I've heard in many cheating stories before. All right, the next category, the other person perspective. Starting with Cheating Lovers by Atlantic Starr. This highlights the perspective of a couple having an affair both behind their spouses' backs. Now, this was a big hit for the group back in 1986, and from what I understood, this was their last gasp of making it big. Their record label was close to dropping them because they didn't really have any major hits throughout their career. That was until this song came out, and boom, the song exploded all over the radio. It was played a lot on various R&B and soft rock stations. The next one here, My Little Secret by the group Escape. This focuses on the secrecy of a forbidden relationship. When you're in a secret or forbidden relationship, you know dang well you have to keep it a secret. Because if everybody finds out, the amount of finger pointing, the amount of judgment is going to definitely come down hard on you. There's one by someone, let me see if I'm unable to pronounce this name correctly, but it's spelled S-C-A, Caesar or whatever it is. But the song is titled The Weekend, which discusses sharing a partner. Now, this is something unique here. Guy cheats on his girlfriend. The other girl finds out. And I guess, let me take this back here into something here. Two women who are bisexual. One of them has a husband. Bisexual girlfriend figures, hey, why not include me? Share your man with me. I guess that's what this song is talking about. If I'm incorrect, let me know in the comments below. Oh, here's one here. If That's Your Boyfriend, He Wasn't Last Night by Michelle Nenicello. Hope I pronounced that name correctly. This is a confrontational, unapologetic song about a woman telling some girlfriend, hey, your man came on to me. If he's your boyfriend, he did not act like it the evening before. He came on to me. You need to take it up with him. Now, there are other famous mentions here that I'm going to get to definitely. Say My Name by Destiny's Child, which a woman is questioning the behavior of her partner, acting kind of shady or acting kind of suspicious. Usually cheaters do suspicious behavior many times, whether it's keeping their phones by their side or not willing to engage in anything, whether it's romantic or just walks in the park. Cheaters often stray away from their main spouses because they're so focused on the AP so much. Here's one, an old R&B classic, Me and Mrs. Jones by Billy Paul. For I understand, this was his only big hit. In the song, the narrator, Billy Paul, talks about being involved with a married woman. Every day, certain time, they meet at a small cafe, discussing everything under the sun. Next one, Dilemma by Nelly and Kelly Rowland. I remember hearing this on various R&B stations in the early 2000s. Some girl I was involved in. Often played that a few times when she was riding in one of my old automobiles. Oh, here's one by Shakira. I never heard of this one. Don't Bother. I guess the main topic of this is don't bother calling me. Don't bother getting in contact with me after I found out what you've done. Fuck you and the horse that gave birth to you. You're a cheater. You out of here. Now, there are other songs out there. Two I'm going to also mention. One of them from 1978, Torn Between Two Lovers by Mary McGregor. Now this one is very tender because it's the viewpoint of the woman telling her main partner, I've been secretly involved with another man. And in the last verse, she details the reason. The other guy provides for me something that you don't, whether it's sexual, physical, emotional. This was also played out in the last verse of Heart's 1990 single, All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You. In the last verse, Ann Wilson sings, please, please understand, I'm involved with another man, and what you couldn't give me, I had to seek from you. Usually when someone cheats, it's because their main partner, or OP as I should call them, original partner, isn't providing something. And they have to seek it from somewhere else. Like if your OP is not a freak in the sack, they're going to find someone who is indeed that. Jedi in the streets, Sith in the sheets. If you know what I mean. Another one here from 1984, No Way Out by the Jefferson Starship. Here, a man gets caught doing something he shouldn't be doing by his girlfriend or wife, and the guy tries to come up with some bullshit excuse. But the woman isn't buying it. She is not having it one bit. And there's one more I need to mention. Stay by Sugarland. This was written from the perspective of the other woman. Here, Jennifer Nettles is telling the guy, how come she gets the best of you while I only get a little small portion? You keep saying you're going to leave her for me, but you haven't done that yet. Usually they don't do that. They just use that as an excuse to keep you around. Because at times, guys who cheat with two women often feel invincible. They feel powerful. They want to continue having that affair for whichever reason. And you may remember in the music video for that song, Jennifer Nettles is seen breaking down and crying. I'm not too sure what the reason for that was. Maybe it was the intensity, emotional pain of that song. If you haven't seen it, check it out for yourself. It's very intense to watch. Most definitely. Now let's not forget this one last item. I haven't heard the song all the way, but after hearing some of the first lyrics of the song, I knew what immediately was about. Lips of an Angel by Hinder. My girlfriend is in the next room. If she hears us talking, blah, 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 you figure it out for yourself. Now, I'm going to end this episode with this bit of advice. And this goes out to those in relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, engaged, or married. If you're thinking about stepping out for whichever reason, if it's any of the ones that I mentioned, don't. The thing to do is to sit down. Talk with your spouse or partner about what's on your mind, what you're having difficulty with. Work on those issues. Don't cheat. As I said at the beginning of this episode, it only does damage for everyone involved. Yourself, your OP, the AP, and if you have children, it's going to definitely affect them as well. It's going to cause the kids to look down on you with resentment and anger. How dare you do this to mom? How dare you do this to our dad? And it's going to disillusion them. It's going to make them think, if this is what marriage does to you, I'm not going to get married. Whatever issue you have, the best thing to do is to work it out. Talk through it. Seek therapy, counseling, whichever. Too many people think, oh, I tried that many times before, but it hasn't worked. So the best thing to do for me is to go out and step out. Don't do it. Stay loyal. Stay focused. And that concludes this episode. Glad everybody came by to check it out. I do not know when I'm going to do the second episode of this series. When I do get the time, I'll definitely let you know. Thank you for tuning in and watching this. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button and notification bell. And everybody, enjoy yourself and have a good time. Take care.